What's up, everybody? My name is Shanti Stewart, co-host of the PANTHERS Brawl podcast, and this is an introduction to our weekly YouTube content that we're going to give to you guys after each weekly episode of the podcast. What we plan to do with this is take some of the topics that we talk about on the podcast and turn it into short form videos for you guys to enjoy and to discuss amongst friends. And for my Panther fans, today's video is going to be about Kuechly. Obviously, we talked earlier on the podcast about what Kuechly meant to this franchise and how great he was for this franchise, so we won't dive into that. But one thing that we talked about that we didn't dive into, I think, deep enough was about should Kuechly be deserving of being a first ballot Hall of Famer? And in my opinion, shortly is yes. Kuechly was the best middle linebacker in football for 9 seasons throughout the duration of his career. And for any guy that, and you know what? I wouldn't say for all 9. I'd say for 8. But here's the thing: for a guy that took over, that came in 2012, and quickly ascended to being the best linebacker in football in 2013. First of all, winning Defensive Rookie of the Year in 2012, and winning Defensive Player of the Year in 2013. Then being a 7-time Pro Bowler, then being a 5-time All-Pro. It kind of leads me to believe that there isn't many guys better than this guy in doing it how he did it for 9 seasons. When you spend 7 of your 9 years in the Pro Bowl, 5 of your 9 on an AP All-Pro team, it tells me all I need to know. Kuechly and a lot of these guys in the newer generation of football are going to redefine what it means to be a Hall of Famer. Kuechly has the credentials of what a Hall of Famer should be. At what point when were you the best at your position? Kuechly was that for the majority of his career. Will we consider him one of the best talents we've ever seen to lace up a pair of cleats? Yes. Kuechly's football mind is second to none. The ability to read and react to plays, and what many people say that what he's able to do is call out plays before they even happen. Not many guys can do that, and I think what he had up here made him the elite athlete he was. We're gonna miss out on. I wouldn't say we missed out. I think in 9 seasons we've seen what the best linebacker in football should look like. If you were talking about a perfect football player, especially at that position, it would be Kuechly. It would be the ability to have ranging speed east to west, along with the 4.5 40, the ability to drop back in coverage, make plays against some of the best tight ends in football, like Rob Gronkowski in his prime, and be able to be a monster in the secondary in order to generate interceptions, being better at getting interceptions than most corners and safeties. I mean, we're talking about a guy that really dominated the game at a high level for 9 consecutive seasons, even with the concussion history, even with those injuries plaguing him. You can't tell me you can't tell me there's definitely a better linebacker than Kuechly. The only other linebacker that will even be in this discussion will be Bobby Wagner. And here's the thing: Kuechly's top 2, and for many of those years he wasn't 2. And I can tell you right now, not many people believe. You will have to do a lot of caping to me to tell me why Kuechly shouldn't be a first ballot Hall of Famer. I look at him similarly as the same way I look at Calvin Johnson. Calvin Johnson obviously called it a career, I think, 10 seasons. Obviously left his career short. But when Calvin Johnson played, was he or was he not the best receiver in football? I'll answer that for you. Yes, he was the best receiver in football. Was he a transcendent talent? Did the game change when Calvin Johnson stepped onto the field? Yes. How teams defended him? Different type of guys. I think you have to respect what these guys did in the short amount of time that they did it. And you also I think you also should respect the fact that these guys left the game early with their minds intact and with their bodies healthy. You know, I think that has to be something we take into account. The game of football is changing. These newer guys are gonna be the ones to be the changing of the guard of how we look at Hall of Famers. And guys ending their careers a tad bit early, but being dominant in doing so, should be rewarded with being Hall of Famers. And in my opinion, Kuechly should be and will be a first ballot Hall of Famer. Correct me if I'm wrong, but this has been the first episode of our weekly YouTube content. I hope you guys enjoy it. I hope, for all my Panthers fans, I hope you guys continue to follow this journey as we start on it with the Brawl Network and the Panthers Brawl. Hey, my name is Shanti Stewart. I'm out.